Hey guys, if you haven't seen me before, my name is Asra, but you can also call me Ash. I really love posting makeup and panning content. You can see that over on my Instagram. I'll make sure to link that below. But anyway, I actually had a different channel before this, but sadly I had to delete it seeing as I wasn't able to move it on over to this email address, my professional email address for this channel. So yeah, sadly that had to happen. I lost over 100 subscribers, but it's no biggie. I'll just start anew. But if you haven't read it from the title just yet, today I will be letting you know what my plans are for this channel, as well as updating my projects that I've been working on throughout this year. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with my Panda palette, I actually have two palettes that I'm working on, and I've made some really great progress. I do want to note that today I'll strictly be talking about my progress. I will be filming a video to recap all of my progress, as I also lost all the footage of my previous channel. I didn't feel like saving it up for some reason, because I could have easily reposted it on this channel, but let's not get into the logistics of it. So my first palette being the e.l.f. bite-sized palette in the shade Cream and Sugar. Now, as I said, I've been working on this all year, and both of the palettes that I've been working on, ultimately, I would like to finish up. So thus far, throughout the year, if you see me looking down, by the way, I am looking at my notes, I've used this a total of 84 times, and this is what we're looking like. As you can see, this palette is very well used, very well loved, and I'll go through all of the things that have happened to this palette up until now just shortly. So the first shade I used up a long time ago. This was actually on February 19th after 50 uses, which is really great. Then for this shade, I used it a total of 38 times. And my goal is to empty one of the corners here. Also, I do want to note that I'm pre-filming this, as I normally would update my projects at the end of the month. And I'm currently filming on the 17th of August. But so to empty one of the corners, right now we're looking very good. I like to use this shade on my inner corners, sometimes all over the lid, but I also love using it as a highlighter because it is pretty and nice and sparkly, and it does match with my skin tone pretty nicely. So yeah. And then we have this bronzy shimmer over here that I've used 33 times thus far. And my goal is to expand the pan, seeing as it's still pretty small. I hit pan on this on June 16th after 25 uses. Then the fourth shade I've used 43 times thus far, and my goal is to expand the pan. I hope you can tell that I'm actually kind of close. I'm seeing one of the ridges, like one of these, on here as well. But my goal is to expand the pan, and I hit pan on this particular shade on February 7th after 6 uses. So I feel confident about this palette. We're in August right now, but we're halfway through August, and I feel like if I really push, I can empty this palette. I use this brown a lot, mostly for my outer corner or to create a nice wing shape. And this one is the one I'm most concerned about, the bronzy shade. But I've used it on my nails before and I really liked it like that. And I also kind of have to pack it on and spray it. So I'm using more product to create a nicer foiled shimmer. So yeah, that's where we are with this palette. I'll be moving on over to the second one. So the second one is the Etos Blue Smoke Shadow Palette, and I've used this a total of 88 times thus far this year, and this is where we're at. I hope you can tell that this palette is pretty darn well loved. I have 6 pans in here and one empty. and I have 2 more pans that I still need to hit. We're looking good, but I am a wee bit stressed seeing as I have about 4.5 months left to completely empty this palette. So I'm kind of worried, I'll be honest, but I just want to get as far with this as I possibly can, and if I don't use it up this year, I'll likely just roll it in for next year. Anywho, let's get into the shades. So for this first one, I've already used it a total of 30 times. My goal is to expand the pan, of course, and I hit pan on this on February 22nd after 14 uses. Now this is actually a more recent pan. I hit it earlier this month, but this is in the second shade and I used it a total of 15 times, and on the 15th use on August 8, I managed to hit pan on this. So really happy about that. It took me quite a while to reach for this and hit pan in it because it is quite a thick pigmented metallic, so I usually used it all over the lid to create a more smokier look, but I've also used it as a wing liner once or twice. But yeah, so happy to finally have hit pan on this. Now for the third shade, I've only used it 11 times, but my goal is to hit pan on it, and we're definitely not there yet. There's not even really a dip going on just yet. There's just some disturbance in the pan, so this is definitely one of those shades that I really need to get a move on. But I think I'll get some more progress out of it if I use it on my nails. Same with this shade right here. But yeah. As for the fourth shade, I've used it 25 times, and my goal is also to expand the pan. And I managed to hit pan on this on March 19th after 14 uses. Now this shade right here, I've only used 9 times, and my goal is to hit pan on this. I'm actually wearing it today over here. I have this like satin blue smoky liner situation going on in my inner and outer corner, winged it out. And that is this shade, and then I use this shade right here on the lash line, and I also use this shade over here to create some lightness to brighten up my eyes, and I used another more glittery shimmer to top over my lid. But yeah, I only used this 9 times. My goal is to hit pan on it. Likely will happen if I keep using it because it's actually a really stunning shade, but it really only shows up well when you really wet it with some setting spray, so it shows its true potential. Now for the sixth shade, it's really funny, but I've only used it 12 times thus far. My goal is to expand the pan, but because it's quite crumbly and it's a bit of a thinner formula, I really have to build it up, which is why I have such a huge pan in it already. And I feel like this is one of the shades that I'm likely to use up next, which I'm really excited about. It's not my favorite, but I really know how to work with it, and when I do, I really do create stunning looks. I use it in my inner and outer corners as like a smoky eye, or I wing it out like a smoky liner. It's gorgeous, and I use it as a liner most of the time as well, so yeah. Now for the seventh shade, as you can see, it is completely empty. I did so back in May? Yeah. So it took me a total of 66 uses to empty this shade. I first hit pan on it on January 21st. And then I emptied it on May 29th after 66 uses. And it took me 6 uses to hit pan on this, if I haven't mentioned so already. Now for the 8th shade, my goal is to expand it. I've used it a total of 29 times already, but it's a more pigmented shade and a darker shade, so I need less of it. But I hit pan on this on May 25th after 16 uses. Now as for the last shade in the palette, I've used it 34 times thus far, and my goal is to expand the pan as well. I hit pan on this on April 12th after 14 uses. So like I said, ultimately I want to finish both of these palettes up. I feel a little more confident about the e.l.f. Bite Size palette. I am really, really nervous, and I hope that I can finish as much of the Etos Blue Smoke Shadow palette as well, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to fully finish it. So yeah, that's that on that project. Now, I also had a empty those pans project that I introduced at the start of the year, but I'll be honest, I haven't updated it once, so I might just pop in extra video somewhere this year before the end of the year to let you know how the progress has been going, but it is just not something I've kept up with. So last but not least, I did want to talk you through my rolling project pan. I do want to note, however, I'm simply going to be talking about the products that I'm currently working on. I already mentioned that I will be doing recap videos soon, but for right now, we're focusing on the products I am working on. So starting off, in order of application by the way, with the Soft Glam Filter Fluid Glow Booster in the shade 010 Fair Light from Catrice. Now my goal is to use this 30 times, I believe. Am I correct about that? Sorry, I'm just looking over at my notes. Yes, 30 times. I've reached for it 26 times, so 4 more uses, and I did say that I am like halfway through the month, so I'm really pre-filming this 2 weeks early, so those 4 uses are going to be no problem whatsoever. So yeah, I'll just pick a product once I've hit my goal on this, and I'll just let you know what I'm working on in the next update. Now, my next product is the Baby Got Bronze Bronzing Stick in the shade 10 Cinnamon Spice from Essence. And this is what we're looking like today. My goal is to use this 50 times, and thus far I've reached for it 31 times, so 29 more uses to go. I like the formula of this product. I, however, do not like the fragrance, as it smells like, I don't know if you know this, but like the watermelon candy that once you start chewing on it, it turns into like this bright yet dark pink bubble gum. So yeah, it takes a while for it to dissipate, but other than that, it really is a fine product and the formula is nice. Moving into blush, I have right here the blush in the shade 90 Bedazzling from Essence. And my goal is to use it 25 times. I have reached for it 20 times already, so 5 more uses to go. And I hope that you can tell that I've worn down the pan quite a lot. I can tell that the embossing has not fully gone yet. You can still vaguely see blush here, but I'm hoping that 5 more uses will take care of that. And I would really love to hit pan on this sometime, as the packaging is also broken, because they make great products, but some of them are just really cheap and break on me, so. Now, I also have the e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Turks and Caicos. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My goal is to use it 15 times, and I've reached for it 9 times thus far. And this is what we're looking like. Please don't pay too much attention on how grimy it looks. I don't know why or how, but it is fine. It works fine. The application is a little fussy though, because sometimes the blush will pick up on itself, or it won't stick properly, which I don't particularly like, because then you can kind of see like that it's not evenly coated. But other than that, it is a fine blush. I have this particular formula in a different shade as well, and I feel like that one works a bit better on me. Perhaps this is just a little older, or the color is simply too bright and a little fussy, but it is what it is. Now I have one more highlighter to go, and this is the Clinique Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlight in the shade 010 Hefty Highlight. I have reached for this 69 times already, and my goal is to use it up, and this is what we're looking like today. I've been wearing down this product for months on end now. This is one of the products that I've been working on this whole year, but I'm just slowly wearing away at this, and I hope that in 4.5 months time I will be able to finally say that I've finished this, because I've been working on it tirelessly for, I think, at least 2 years at this point. But you know, we just keep on going, and hopefully I can say that this will be an empty by the end of the year. As for eye products, this is also a funny story. Right here I have the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade 604 Milk. And this was previously in like a chubby eyeliner stick. Now, my packaging broke the minute that I basically got the product, and I had no idea. I guess it was faulty packaging, or I must have done something wrong. Whatever. I thought that there was very little left in this when I rolled it in at the start of the year, and I was so wrong. Because when I like somewhat recently dug this out, this is how much product I ended up with. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like it's very unlikely that I'll be able to finish this before the end of this year, because there's a lot of product left in here and I don't use a lot of it. I either use it in my waterline before applying a colorful shadow to create a colorful liner on like my waterline, or I use it whenever I'm applying really bright colors, either in my inner corner or around there, or on my lid to prep for a very bright shade. But I honestly don't love this, and I've just been working on this for so long, and then I got the disappointment of, oh, there's still so much left of this. But you know what, we're just gonna keep trucking on. I think I'm gonna set a goal to use this at least 75 times before the end of this year, to make it a more feasible goal. And you know, if I do so, I'll feel very happy already, because I definitely won't be able to empty this. And you know what, if I hit that goal, I'll just try to aim for 100. So yeah, I have one more eyeshadow to talk about, and that is the water eyeshadow in 06 from Kiko Milano. My goal is to use this 15 times, and as of right now, I've used it 5 times. It's a really stunning shade. It actually goes really well with a lot of the eyeshadows that I'm working on. It works with my palettes, and it just works well with any cool tone, but also warm tone eyeshadow. It's pretty, how do you say that? Versatile. So yeah, we're only down to 3 more products, and that is my lip products. Starting off with another one that I've been working on tirelessly throughout this year. That is the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade London, and this is where we are. I hope you can tell that it's absolutely teeny tiny, but I've reached for this 99 times already. I forgot to note how many times I've sharpened it. It is on my phone though, but I'll just drop it down below. Feel free to have a look at the description box, because I'll note every detail in there. So if you miss something, or if you feel like I didn't mention something in the video, you'll likely see it down below in the description box. So yeah, palm for reference. This is so teeny. I feel like there's 1 or 2 more months left of use in there. And if I haven't mentioned so already, I've used it 99 times. But yeah, I feel like 1 or 2 more months and then I can call it quits on this. As for the Satin Kiss lipstick in the shade Fling from Makeup Revolution, this is where we are right now. It's really weird, but for some reason I happen to wear it down on both sides. Alas, it looks a little weird, and I honestly kind of forgot about my starting point, but I think it's on my Instagram. I'll make sure to link that below as well as my TikTok. But yeah, this is where we are currently, and my goal is to use up half of it. I'm not sure how far along I am, but I'll just keep working on it until I'm sick of it. Now, as for the last product that I'm working on in my project currently, it is the Pro Kisser Lip Loving Scrub Stick from Fenty Beauty, and this is where we are at. I am currently like digging into the product, into the packaging, because there's still some of that scrub left, as I was recently flush with the packaging, so I figured I'd just dig out the rest of it. It's a fine enough scrub. I kind of like it. It smells nice. No complaints. Oh, I forgot to mention how many times I've used this. 21 times for this one as well as for this one. So pretty similar on that. Now to mention a little bit more about my plans for this channel, I am currently working on my inventory. I am currently putting everything that I own down in an Excel sheet, and I would love to kind of tell you what is in my makeup collection. So we're talking numbers here. So that's a video that I'll hopefully have up soon before the end of this year, so I can compare for the end of next year. As for the other ideas that I have, of course, Get Ready With Me, like using the products that I'm currently panning. Otherwise, products that I've hit pan on, because there are quite a lot in my collection, especially eyeshadows. Products that have big dips in or a lot of usage on. I bet you guys might like that as well. I also created this look recently that I really enjoyed, so I might do a little tutorial or Get Ready With Me to show you that look. It was something I did during my vacation. I went to Prague. And did I forget anything else? Of course, the project recap that I've mentioned several times in this video. I'll definitely show you that. And perhaps a video about my panning journey and me dealing with over-consumerism and how I'm trying to kind of work on that within myself. So yeah, if any of these videos sound interesting to you, do let me know in the comments down below. Just let me know which one you like to see first. If you have any other suggestions for me, feel free to do so. I'd love to hear you out. But without further ado, that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Maybe comment something down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're currently at 0. And hit that bell if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a brand new video. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!